Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Baka podcast.
Baka.
It's amazing how every time you open your mouth, you prove you're an idiot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Baka. We are an anime podcast where every 2 weeks we come together to discuss an anime we've recently watched. We discuss it in a book club inspired format. We let you, the audience, take it from there because we are just three Bakas. We did part 1 of Gachiakuta 2 episodes ago, and now we're here to do part 2 to finish it out. We were a little harsh last time. Let's see if the Christmas spirit got into us and healed us, brought these cranky old men to better understanding, and then we'll talk about the next half of the Gachiakuta. That's what we're doing. To do so, I need the help of my co-host with their anime hot takes. And first off, we have the garbage monster to my Godzilla, whose name I forget.
I thought it was Smog Monster.
That's the American title.
Oh, okay.
Let's just go with it. Smog monster to my Godzilla. It's Jeremy.
Beautiful art can't carry an anime.
Turkin. What was that one about the vampire and the girl who didn't weigh anything and the boy? No, the boy who befriends all those girls who are cursed.
You've just described like 40 anime. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what would
Yeah. No, it's the real artistic one.
real artistic? Are you making it up?
Oh, Sunny Boy.
Yeah.
Nope. That was carried through strong themes and incredible visual storytelling.
Ugh.
It was carried through psychedelics and there.
You liked it. Why are you jumping on that bandwagon at all? You
Thanks, Jeremy.
I'm honest, is all.
You're the best.
I'm not gonna be pretentious.
You just don't like themes.
Themes are pretentious. That's my anime hot take.
That's multimedia 2025 for you. 2026. You're past. We also have. I am so sorry. I cannot think of another kaiju that's garbage based. So it's Jason.
Woo. Just glad you put so much thought into me. No matter how many seasons an anime is, a story should be encapsulated within the season that you set out to encapsulate it in.
Like micro stories.
Yeah, like if you're gonna create some threads, tie some of them up.
Both of us are like crapping on this.
No. Okay, so specifically, so if I'm gonna round this to something that's not related to tonight.
No, you don't need to. It's just a hot take, and you can bring it.
I'm Bleach is really bad at this. Okay, just saying.
Heard.
My name is Troy. My anime hot take is: while a story is responsible for connecting you to the characters, you are still responsible for trying.
Let's move on.
If you refuse to connect to the characters, that's not the story's fault.
Refuse.
I'm just
No,
saying,
that's the writer's fault. Anyways,
I mean, I said the story is responsible for connecting you, and if it doesn't happen, that's fine. But you still have to make the effort.
It's
The
just that
viewer,
gray area.
some responsibility lays on the viewer.
It's just that gray area about how far you have to reach your hand out for them to grasp
100%.
it. You know, making a reference to the end.
Yeah, but there is also a difference between pulling your hand away.
That's true. That's true. That's
Well,
fair.
if you're
You come
pulling
into
your-
it, you've already hated it.
If you're pulling your hand away in disgust, I mean, there might be a reason. Anyways, we should move on.
You don't grasp trash because it's gross and stinky and slimy and nasty, right?
Oh, it's gonna be one of those.
Listen, guys.
I might just phone this one in then.
Reduce, reuse, and
We're done
recycle,
anyway.
guys.
All right.
3R, man.
Do we even need to do non-spoiler reviews now? I feel like we just covered that. Why don't you start us off, Jeremy?
So I think I actually like it a little bit less than I did last time, and I already was just like very middle of the road with it. The art's beautiful, but the issues that I have are number one, I've complained about this before in other anime. When there are a lot of loud characters that don't have to be loud and they're just being loud because they want to be obnoxious, that just, I have a really hard time with that. And they really came to the fore in this second half of this season. Um, there were a lot more characters that were just screaming constantly, and it was driving me nuts. But beyond that, the writing itself is just, um, to me, it comes across as if it lacks confidence that we're gonna pick up things and put pieces together, connect the dots, right? There are a lot of sequences where the characters will either give a ton of exposition or they will restate things that you just saw. And I have a really hard time with that as well. So the writing was a big factor for me in the things I didn't like. It had some clever moments, and the soundtrack is pretty good. At least like the intro and the outro, which I know we have a section of those. But but yeah, not my favorite. Not great.
All right, Jason, your thoughts.
If I were to wrap it up in one word, it'd be disappointment. Um, I'll have to say the idea of the world and where they went with some of the ideas were unique, and I actually were really digging the a little bit of philosophy behind what was happening. However, the pacing, the storytelling, and the way the writer tried to connect the audience to the characters just is not for me. I don't like the way the story was told. I don't like the way the characters act on screen. I have nothing for me personally to grab to like either connect or like care beyond a particular point with any of these characters. So we'll get into that more, but for me, this I didn't have a good time.
So I don't think I've moved like score wise, but I hardly believe in the score anyway. Uh,
Leave in the heart of the score.
yeah, no, it's just drivel. It's data for people who need data.
Data is important.
That yeah.
Yeah. So specifically these two is
Good.
why we have it. Look, I'd rather have a 2-hour discussion about it than just look up a number. That's just
I
me.
agree with that. I think
Yeah.
data is usually, it's based on something, and I'd like to see.
I'm not
that
having a
something.
debate about data right now. I'm
Data
giving
is
it
very important, Troy.
can be. Data can be broken. There's offshoots. Anyway,
Broken opinions.
I I found myself enjoying this half much better, while still many of the issues I had in the first half were still there. A lot of reusing tropes that aren't bad tropes. It just was for me. I've seen these before. Um, predictable things. I will say that I felt this anime found its hey, this is what I'm gonna do that's special from other shonen battle anime. Well, I'll go into detail in the non or in the spoiler section. But yeah, I liked it, even though it's probably not going to be for everyone. When I realized what they were doing, I was like, oh, there's going to be some people who are like, that's not what I came here for. But this is a well received anime, a well reviewed anime in the general consensus. And I felt like I could see why. Again, it wasn't super. I'm not excited for the next season or anything like that, but I was entertained through this half. It was more focused. It wasn't a little bit here, a little bit there. Kind of, it wasn't going through the setting up stage. My biggest feeling was that it was like a anime Shonen Battles movie, and I don't mean the current movies where they do a new arc from the manga or like a short arc and I'll do it in a movie. I mean like My Hero Academia's movies. There's a big bad. He's got a thematic connection to the hero. things are going to get epic and big, but it's not going to be the impact of the final battle that we're actually waiting for in the show. This had that feel to it, mostly because of big things that got moving in the end. I don't want to spoil anything. So, yeah. So again, I'm very middle of the road on it, but I'm feeling a little bit better about it than last time, and not just because my daughter has a knife to my back.
I know. I was gonna say, are you gonna show the bruises?
Yeah.
I will. I do need to say, especially when we go into the spoiler section and start story recap. I watched this 3 weeks ago from the time we're recording this because she came over and was like, "Dad, we're we're watching all of it." And I'm like, "We're doing the movie first. You have to wait another 2 weeks." And she's like, "I'm not waiting. You're gonna watch it today. I'm coming over." And
All
so
of it.
I watched all 12 episodes that we had left in a single day.
Oh my god.
And I remember all the plot. I have my notes, but there's going to be like lines of dialogue that are clearly have dropped out of my head. So it is what it is.
Man, I
It,
don't think I could have done that.
well, like I
Kudos,
said,
man.
and maybe that experience made it better for me because, like I said, I came away with a better feeling than last time.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, what did you guys think about the? Oh no, there's the everyone. I almost skipped everyone's favorites time. We're here for Tanya's take. Jason, take it away.
Tanya steak.
Okay.
Classic.
That was pretty good, sort of.
It ended well.
It ended well.
And,
Yes.
sometimes that's all an anime. I mean, song needs to do.
Oh.
Stick the landing, no matter. Anyway.
So Tanya's take was about 4 episodes into this. She said, I'm gonna just like mess around on my phone, and then 2 more episodes later, she said, I'm done. I can't stand this, and got up and left. So I watched the rest by myself.
Sad.
Maybe the real anime was the friends we lost along the way.
Yes.
All right, your guys' thoughts on the opening and closing?
I don't like the song.
The opening.
It's got some okay parts, but I don't like it. And then it's pretty, but it tells the whole story. Like it spoils nearly everything. Especially some of the big parts that we'll get into later. The ED was okay. It was serviceable. Music was all right. The visuals were okay. I watched them twice and then I skipped them after that. They weren't compelling.
Yeah, they were both pretty interesting in their own way, but I think we were really spoiled by the OP number 1. Like it was such good music that this one just couldn't compete. I thought it was pretty good, but the ED, I liked the song better than the OP. The visuals, I mean, it's really drawing a connection between the two, the antagonist and the main character. But I'm still not 100% sure. Like, is it just that they're aligned in their goals? Sort of. Is it they're aligned in their history? Is it just because they're both, related when it comes to equipment? Like, I'm not 100% sure what their connection is and why it's overlaying the two of them so strongly, but it is, and contrasting them. Themes, is that
Themes are stupid.
themes? Yeah, themes. Makes no sense.
How dare
And then,
they base all fiction on this one thing?
yes. Um, and but for the intro, I mean, there were a lot of things that happened in the intro that I kept waiting to see them happen, and they never did. Um, so
It's 100% false, but go on.
no, there were things that happened in the intro. Like there was a fight thing that didn't happen. There was something else too. There
But
were things that did happen.
the majority of it happened.
I'd say probably 70, so majority, yeah, 70-80%. But yeah, I don't know. I guess knowing that some of those things didn't happen, and you're like, well, which ones did and which ones didn't, you know? So I don't know. If it's just enough inaccuracy to mislead me a little bit. So that was okay.
Jeremy was upset at the OP.
I was upset at the whole anime.
I have no memory of the ED.
You know, the birds.
Yeah, the white birds. It's got like the
Oh,
stripes.
that's
and it's got
yeah,
images on
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
little
Okay,
stripe.
yeah. Then visually, I loved it because I felt like it was
Yeah.
a big clue as to what
Wait a
was real
minute.
and close.
Wait a minute. You have no memory of the ED, and yet you were saying themes.
Yeah,
That is
I thought
exactly what I mean.
I
Themes
thought
can
they
be
were in the
made on
OP.
nothing.
I thought they were in the OP. That's all.
No.
Just
And
got a little
also
confused.
in the story, the parallels pretty
It's been
strong
like a
too.
month and a
Oh,
half since he's seen it. Okay, give him a break.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
It's getting longer. It's been 12 years since I watched Gachiakuta. But I disagree on the OP song. I think it's fire. I think it's way better than the first one.
What?
And my favorite part is when a certain character goes flying out of the portal and they like freeze frames on him as he's freaking out about being thrown out of a portal while the singer is singing "Let's Just Crash." I actually went and watched the singer's music video, and I ended up liking the OP better visually because the music video is like a CG Mad Max thing, which sounds cool, but it wasn't. And then I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted this to go. I enjoy watching the OP. Yeah, I really enjoyed the OP. The singer of the OP also has another song in the anime, and we definitely need to talk about that when we get there. All right, that's that. We're gonna talk about our next anime, which is
Our
Link
first retro
to
pick.
First retro pick from this year. Last year?
Yes.
It's pretty
End of
recent.
year.
Well, yeah, okay. I meant
Yeah.
I meant 2024. I forgot the new year.
25. It's 26 now.
Yeah, no, I know. I was saying
You literally said 24.
I thought it was 24 when I said what I said.
Listen,
I
guys.
was confused. I'm not confused now.
Okay, look. Troy is distraught. He's a little distracted tonight. Just give him a little grace.
Yeah.
I don't want to date the episode. Probably by the time this releases, the Super will be over, and no one will remember that my quarterback broke his ankle tonight after winning the divisional playoff game.
But it will
In
be
the
a moment.
overtime.
It will be a moment in history that we'll all get to cherish.
I'm mourning.
It's not over yet. Have some faith.
I know. Defense wins championships, right?
He's still got another leg.
We have another quarterback.
He's got it.
I don't think Jeremy knows how football works.
No.
He can kick with either foot, right?
Okay. Can we sports
right.
with the sports?
Anyway, Link Click is our next anime. It is the rules free pick. We're gonna go Jeremy's pick because somebody forgot it was their turn.
Rules free. Rules free. Whatever.
I don't want to hear the word rules out of your mouth ever again. So done with you.
You need to state a rule in order to exist as a rule. I'm just saying.
Leave me alone. I'm in mourning. All right, anime. Put the sports stuff away.
Spoiler section then.
We are going to the spoiler section. So probably a lot of part 1 reference, but definitely all of part 2 is being spoiled. Story, characters, themes even.
What?
We'll make up all kinds of themes.
All themes are made up. Dum dum.
I agree.
It's fiction. You should watch documentaries, then you don't have to worry about it.
100%.
I
You should start your documentary podcast.
I couldn't do that.
That sounds really entertaining.
I'll make it exist. Episode 13 is where we start because we stopped in a really bad spot. As I mentioned in the last Gachiakuta episode, we are in the middle of dealing with Amo. But before we get to her, Amo. Before we deal with her, I just want to cover over our main characters. New thoughts, same as the old thoughts, which is fine to say. I haven't changed my opinion. We can move on. Hustle this. We have a mini-sode to record after this. Mini-sode coming, guys.
Hey.
First off, Rudo. Any new thoughts on Rudo? Any changes?
I just don't. I'm really not liking him in his quieter moments. I thought he had like this really cool growth arc going on is in his quieter moments from the first season. It didn't pan out well for me, or at least I didn't see much of one. Um, like he's definitely growing as a character. He's learned some new stuff, but like, ugh, it just didn't sit well with me. Anyways, but besides that, I did like his growth as a like the what do they call that, the not growing up but the coming of age, because there's definitely a coming of age story happening here as well.
So there's a lot of generalities. Is there any context?
uh yeah, so like his confrontation with Zodal is fairly compelling. But like when he's with Engine or when he's with Sanka at the end, I just I don't feel like he's grown much. Like it's just he's still that kid that fell out of the sky kind of. Like he's not confident, he's not um he he he's got a bit more direction as far as like the friends he's made along the way, but like he seems more his scope has increased and it's diluted who he is as a quiet in those quiet moments for me.
All right. I feel like that's a lot to ask in the context of the scope of the size of the story.
Okay, so then we'll get to that real quickly. This anime as a whole has a problem with staying on point. Couple reasons. One, it has way too many characters, especially side characters that don't matter, and they give them backstories and they give them time on screen that doesn't need to be there. Two, they keep switching between characters for weird amounts of time, and they spend inordinate amount of time with some characters that just flat out don't matter, and then the other ones they're like, oh, we're going to skip between these, and then all of a sudden we're going to have a backstory episode, and it's exhausting to watch. And I think all of that time could have been used to develop the main cast and actually make me care about them. But instead, here we are with Pacifier Boy, and
Oh God.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about these characters. They aren't compelling. They're fairly standard. They're not unlikable, but I don't. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to hear about the guy that fell from the sky, and now I'm watching cowboy having a prosthetic arm cowboy having a fit with pacifier kid, and also the pacifier thing was really irritating.
I hated it.
But anyways, that's all to say that I think Rudo had it was a choice, is what I'm saying, is that there was an opportunity to make Rudo a more compelling character, but instead of spending that time to do it, they use that time for other things, and it just doesn't appeal to me.
I get that. And this came up last time. Because what I'm hearing is I don't like the shonen format. Because what you're describing is the shonen format. Hey, here's a bunch of new side characters to go have some more side battles with so we can do some cool animation, show off new powers, and build our world while slowly moving our characters through story arcs. That's going to take long forms of time. And it's like there's times when that bugs me as well. My biggest issue is with like, yeah, I've seen this done 100 times.
Yeah.
I've done this. Hey, I've had the 12th layer of character come in and show off their cool fighting story and an episode for their backstory, and then they finish the fight because
In
their
the middle of a
backstory
fight.
reminded something. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I completely get that, but why is it so egregious here when it's done in My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen? I say Chainsaw Man doesn't do it, Den doesn't do it. That's kind of what I was talking about last episode. We're evolving past this,
Mhm.
and maybe that's just it. Maybe we've evolved as a viewer, you've evolved past this, and these guys are still doing it. But we've like, why doesn't the panda fight in Jujutsu Kaisen bother you when he's not an important character at all? He's panda on the side, and then we have a whole episode with him changing into gorilla form and having a big fight with robot guy. It doesn't matter to, and I don't like Yuji. I mean, he's fine, but like as far as main shonen characters go, I could take him or leave him. But
Be
Jujutsu and Jujutsu Kaisen has the great fights, and so I ignore all that stuff. But it has the same problems.
It has good writing too.
the
The dialogue,
Ev-
the communication between the characters, the way that things are storyboarded out.
for
But that's
me.
not really what he's complaining about. He's complaining
Right,
about
right.
the format. I feel
Yeah,
like.
but,
No,
but
no,
it is
okay,
part
no.
of the pacing of everything.
But specifically the pacing. So for me, there were some big story elements that they introduced in this story, and we got one scene where they did this huge big reveal, and then it's over for 2 more episodes, and then the show ends. And it's like, that pissed me off. I was like, I have been waiting for some sort of morsel, some sort of something for me to hold on to. With Jujutsu Kaisen, not only did they answer a bunch of stuff and present more questions, but they had very compelling reasons for it, and it allowed me to attach to the characters and care about their outcome with those story beats. This one, we don't even get the story beats until later. We finally get a morsel of those story beats, and then all of a sudden it's three people get trapped in a car and they're going down this endless tunnel in this thing, and it's like, how big is this beast? Because they've been falling for minutes.
Okay,
Like-
please don't change your complaint. You were talking about the format, now you're talking about the technicalities of the size of a creature not being explained to you.
No.
It's different.
I'm complaining about the amount of time that was devoted to these side areas where I don't get any of the main. I'm here for a story. Tell me a story. And instead, they're like, oh, but what about this character? What about that character? In Jujutsu Kaisen, they're like, these cursed energy beings, these curses, they've got a goal, and they are moving towards that goal. And we continually see that moving towards that goal. And so when Panda is fighting Curse,
Robot dude.
Robot dude.
Robot
In
dude,
a tournament arc.
right? Yeah. Well, if it's not a shonen without a tournament arc, right?
Yep.
We're watching a side piece of that progression.
You could make the same argument here that we're watching a side piece of that progression.
Okay, well
but
then I
it's
just don't
not
like the way
done
it was
well.
presented here.
I think it's not done well. I think that the writing isn't done great. But then again, Jujutsu Kaisen is R. This is PG-13. It's a totally different target audience.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Because I do agree with you, Jeremy, in that like it doesn't have the tightness and it doesn't have the. But I feel like it's targeting a
I think
12
that's it.
to 15-year-old audience that
Yeah.
doesn't want
Jer-
deeper layers.
Jeremy just hit the nail on the head for me. There is a moment in this anime where a gun is presented and no one dies.
Oh, I wanted to say that.
What? Like,
It's just a-
Well, we
Such
don't
a
know the
fun
context
reveal.
yet.
but this
right?
is the essence of why I just don't care, because again, I'm presenting all this dangerous stake consequence atmosphere, and then there's no consequence.
I was complaining about this last time, where there's a sort of blurriness where there's grittiness, but there's also simplicity, and it doesn't go well together.
Yeah,
You have him
just
biting somebody's finger off. You've got a gun. being
massive
used,
amounts
you've
of
got
blood hitting the ground.
massive amount. You got somebody being stabbed after having like a major injury that probably cut a very important artery. There's so many situations where you're like, it's inconsistent, it's gritty, it's deadly lethal, but still everybody's okay at the end.
There's
We have a
someone that
death.
got there's who
Well, there's one death.
who
The blonde.
are you talking
barbarian.
about?
Electric
Well,
hair.
we don't even.
We
know if
don't
the blonde
know.
is
No,
dead.
we don't know
She
if
may be
she's
alive
dead
they
because
showed
she
her at the
landed
end.
on a mattress.
Yeah, they showed her at the end, and somebody was looking like they were gonna get her.
Yeah,
I don't think they'd show her if she was
I
dead.
would be very surprised if she's dead, unless you know something from the wiki that I don't.
I haven't
I
wicked
don't.
anything.
I
Like,
was just thinking of the scene
and
where the flash happened, and we were
and
supposed
she's
to believe she was dead,
disintegrated,
right? But then she's not because there's the
but
silhouette that goes by after the flash, and then the
right,
body
and then
on the
she's on a
mattress at the end.
mattress.
And so, but that's in a different episode,
It's
so like
just
we
it's
didn't
so
even know that for a
disappointing
while.
because
Yeah.
it feels like they're not willing to commit to anything, and so it's like, what does it matter?
But it, but I think that they never intended to commit to it just because of the target audience. I think the error here is adding the grit. Honestly, I think if
Yeah.
you're gonna target the PG-13 audience, then don't step into the R territory. Don't
So,
try to make it. Go with Bleach. Go with Naruto. Go with Dragon Ball
Soul
Z.
Eater.
Go with Soul Eater.
Yeah, this
because
is yeah.
that's what you picked. That's the demographic you picked. Don't clutter it.
So
'Cause
that's
it'll
how I
just
feel about Rudo.
confuse us. Yeah. Yeah.
Jeremy,
I
your
don't
thoughts?
really have. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of thoughts about him. I did like that there was. I like the conversation he had with Zoid, Zodel. I want to
So
call him Zoidberg. I I like the conversation he had with Zodel. Yes, exactly. With Zodel, because it was great to see him draw a distinction, have to be confronted with the idea of, yeah, you can have what you want, this revenge you seek, but you've got to give something that you didn't value before, didn't have before, to know that it was valuable. But you're going to have to give something else up and compromise in order to have it. Do you still want it? And seeing him say no, and then later also seeing him try to make strides toward being the proactive one in essentially establishing a relationship, even if it's just a friendly relationship, still just getting used to that, building that confidence. I didn't have the same issue, as far as like his level of confidence improving, just because I think it's going to take him a long time, and it was okay. I was okay with that. Um, so I thought there was enough growth there. But again, everybody startled at everything, and there were just so many times where there was over dramatization of his expressions. And as much as I love the art and I think it looks really cool, it does get old when he's constantly got this shocked or confused face that is just like over emoting. So
yeah, like at the candy shop, it's his face, and then the
yeah,
caster's face, and
yep,
it's just wasted time.
yeah. Yeah, that was a very, very weird scene. They had some interesting symbols going on in there. Very weird.
Um, Bruto is more of the same for me. Definitely not my favorite shonen protagonist. I I have a hard time with his objective and how no one's really addressing it. And I feel like the show is building up to addressing it. I think like right now they're just working on the anger part, like going layer by layer. But his thing is I want to go murder a society. and he means to go, and he's like, the only reason I don't want to help you murder the society is because you're kind of being a jerk about it. Not That's not the right thing to do. Um, it's hard to root for that. I'm more rooting. Gosh, I sure hope this guy grows morals
Yeah.
before we get to the end, and it feels like he
Mhm.
is. It does feel like that's kind of what happens here in this half. Power's still cool. Looking forward to the way they used it in here. I don't think was his best served as like the talisman. My nail gun turns into a nail gun. Like, okay, okay, go, no, no, no. We
Yeah.
got to be creative about this. We've got to keep this fresh. So a lot of potential there. Didn't really see it here. Yeah, I'm mostly the same original. All right, next up is Engine. What
Not any
is
new thoughts.
storytelling?
Not not a lot of thoughts. I did like that his name like translates in the old tongue to put her together. I do like him as a leader. I like him as a kind of bridge between the characters. He's a really cool character.
I think in the sub it translated to brings people together.
Yeah,
Basically
that's
the same
I,
thing, but yeah.
no. That's what they said in the dub as well. I was just being funny.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe they made it more ambiguous because that would have been
No, no.
interesting.
They literally use those words. So
He's the coolest Mary Poppins ever.
Also, dub watcher, and there's definitely a scene worth watching the dub for.
Oh, really?
Kind of. It depends.
That's
I,
new to
I
me.
have a, I have a
Okay.
feeling I won't convince you of that, but I would say to our
Okay.
general audience who,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think they would like that scene better in English dub. I'll call that when we get there. Engine, still my favorite character of the overall series. Um, Still like the trope. Love what they're doing with him. Of like, it's time to show off your power. No, that's not how he operates. He fails upwards or succeeds by falling. Whatever. He just can't not catch a break. And I love that for him. I love that it's not. It's like the opposite of Gojo, who's like, I can one shot everything. He's just like, I don't have anything to one shot. I already won somehow. Cool. um,
I'll
I
just lay
did
on
love
the floor and pretend
I
I'm
did love
unconscious.
the he's a good guesser.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
Uh,
You can follow his hunt.
and that's really it. Like his spinning umbrella doesn't even seem that powerful, but he just wins anyway, regardless. So yeah, he's funny. He's probably I think one of the funnest in the series. All right, your guys' thoughts on Zonka, the guy with a steak?
we got a backstory, and it just didn't make me care much more about him, anyways. He he's just I want to get stronger. I thought I did think the overwhelming force of someone that's better than him to push him stronger. That was a neat message and theme. And then also literally hitting rock bottom. Um,
Hmm.
but it didn't make his character in the present day story feel any better. So, but yeah, but he was okay. I like his attitude. He's definitely got to stick up his butt because he's got a stick for a weapon.
Give me any thoughts on Zonka?
Um, his backstory was basically just to introduce another character, which was really funny to me. Um, I mean, yeah, it did like flesh him out a little bit. It was an interesting parallel, the fact that he was strong but not strong enough back then, and he's strong but not strong enough now. So he hasn't really come that far. He just found a bigger pond where he's still small. Um, but he's fine. Nothing really spectacular there.
Um, I I like I like what they're doing with him. He's a character that shows up a lot. Hey, it's the talent versus hard work, examination, and the fact his backstory showing that he was the talent for like a hot minute, and then realized he wasn't, and then has had to learn to accept that. And his fight where he's like, "I want you to go all out," and he's like, "I have been," as the enemy is powering up. Um, was super interesting. It's like if Krillin was fighting Frieza and Frieza goes to the second form, Krillin's like, "Wait, what? Forms?
Yeah.
Crap." Um, I like that, but the problem is I'm not a huge fan of the character himself. I still have the issue of like he seems like I'm calm, I'm chill, I just don't care, but then he's super insulted by everything, and I don't know, it feels a little uneven in his personality, and he's not really doing it for me. But like I said, I like what they're trying to do. I like it's a little bit different. I like the idea of why he has the stick. I thought he was trying to
That
go
was
for
funny.
the Indiana Jones. This is the real special one. It was like that wasn't supposed to be there. It's just a dumb stick.
Yeah.
Um, it's good, but he's not that much. So that's him for me. All right, real.
Probably the only character that I found super compelling because she does have an interesting uh side of her. We haven't seen her backstory yet, but the fact that she's murdered people and now she's like kind of on a leash from Engine to not kill people. I found very compelling. Also, the fact that she's basically hiding her true nature to be a cleaner and see what her motivation is later. That would be interesting. So yeah, I thought, and her fight was probably the best fight out of all of the fights.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I don't really have much to add.
I do. Yeah, I do. The recontextualization of everything she's done up to her reveal, I thought was very interesting, and very entertaining. I also enjoyed her fight. I want to talk about it when we get to it. She broke the rules, and we'll get to that. So that's real. Now the one everyone's been waiting for, and now I'm like, I went to my daughter. I'm like, she's in 1.5 episodes. What? This is the internet favorite character. And she's like, well, the manga. I'm like, I'm not talking about manga readers. I'm talking about anime watchers who only get 1.5 episodes with her. Your guys' new thoughts on Amo?
Sad what happened to her. Would be nice to know who she is.
Man, you really cannot stand it, like a mystery not be given to you right away.
Right away, it was 24 episodes.
This is a shonen, man.
No, bad
We're
excuse.
in season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and we just found out how Yuji connects to the whole thing. Whose parents were. 3 seasons later. Yes.
Right, but his parents don't matter to the during season 1 and season 2. Who his parents
we don't know who she is. We know exactly who she is. We got her full backstory.
What I'm saying, who she is as how she fits into the story.
She's one of the holders of the special items.
She might as well have been a table, and they just picked up the boots. Like,
so is Rudo.
Rudo's been in the story since episode 1, and his gloves.
What did it change that much? We got to get this table up to the sphere, guys.
You're being pedantic, and your argument sucks.
So are you?
No, I'm not. I don't know anything about this character besides she was abused at one point, and she has a insane personality, and then she's gone.
Somebody got her.
What else do you need?
Her to be in the show?
Well, I guess
I know more about Pacifier Kid than I do her.
Yeah, but why do you need to have that backstory right now? Until she's back.
I didn't ask for a back. I've never asked for a backstory. Okay. You're making stuff up. You're fighting with ghosts.
You're upset that a character left the story for a time.
Yes, because she was a compelling character. I would have liked to if she had joined the team and was part of the team. Yeah, I like.
Have an answer.
What?
Okay. If she had actually joined the team and like been a part of the story and like had some interactions with the other characters, I would have had more of an opinion. But like, she was compelling. She tried to kill them all because of her false sense of what reality was. She's a bit nuts. So, but then her interaction with Rudo grounded her and like made a connection with someone that has a terrible backstory. And not terrible as in bad, but terrible as in what happened to her. This could have been a new chapter for her to improve her life. And I have no idea what's happened to her. All I know is that she's in chains somewhere because of an end credit scene.
Yeah.
This is after the credits. Like, what do you want from me? I don't know who she is.
Well, I guess the issue is if you are supposed to have an opinion on her or think that there's anything special about her, then it would be useful to know who she is.
Right.
But as far as having her in the anime, the amount she was in it was fine as a character that dipped out. It's just having everyone think that the anime is so great because of this character. I don't know enough about her to really care. Um, her background is tragic, yes, absolutely. Um, but she's crazy because of the tragic things that happened to her and because of the Watchmen series object that she has. It's like a combination of both of those. And
We get more
she
time with
herself
her
states,
boots.
yeah, yeah, we do. And she herself states, uh, yeah, a lot of people came to visit and I killed a lot of them. And I was like, okay, my opinion hasn't changed about this character. I would have been fine if they just got rid of her because being a victim does not relieve you of the consequences of your own crimes. Like it that in itself is just not enough. So while her story was tragic, I don't think it changed my opinion um, from last time. So I am not eating my boots. Forget it.
You should. It's a bad opinion, but you can have it.
Ain't gonna happen.
Um, Not that I fully disagree. It's just there's a lot of people who have also made choices in this anime. They're like, the consequences don't really matter. It happens all the time, especially in anime.
It's a weird world, and in a weird world like this, I can see them breaking the rules for some people, being like, "Oh wow, you could be a powerhouse. Maybe we'll let some things slide because you know you've changed your ways and could be useful."
You can't
Um,
go on a redemption arc if you disappear second episode in.
it hasn't really started. Like she just started it with the conversation with Rudo, which was really just a couple words, honestly. And then she was just gonna like stay and deal with some stuff. And then I guess that's it.
Jason, so like there's times where you watch a story and you can tell the writer forgot this character was kind of important at some point in the story, and they're just kind of, well, they went to the town over probably, and like it happens all the time in TV because casting changes. There'll be a character who's like really important in season 3, and then season 4 comes, and that character
Witcher.
gets
Ugh.
a no, not an actor change, a literal character change,
Oh, okay.
or a character having to leave the show because the writers are like, okay, well, we had to write around that, and they just kind of smudge it, like, oh yeah, where they'll have one person say a line of like, where'd they go? Oh, they left. This is
Mm,
clearly setting up breadcrumbs for further trail. Almost still important. They aren't not referencing her. They're talking about where is Alma? Where'd she go? You want to go
mm,
save her, right? You need to practice helping people before you reach her so that you don't freak her out. Like it's a focus of the story. It's the big MacGuffin right now that's left in the plot, and that's what plots do to drive forward. They create MacGuffins. Maybe it's not your favorite tool, but it is a tool. It's not. It's not. Hey, the character disappeared. It's we're building on. We're creating this hook to keep you to go along. It's long form storytelling. We're
mm,
only watching 24 episodes, and that can be frustrating because you're never going to get the answer without a Wikipedia because you're not coming back to this anime. I get that, but it's not a flaw in the anime itself, in my opinion. Like I said, if they were like, hey, if only we had someone with boots who could affect smell while Almo's still staying in her tower, they don't ever go back and get her. I'm like, wait, did they forget Almo existed? That I would have a major issue with, that she disappeared from the story. It happens all the time, but her disappearance is relevant to the story, and yes, there are still more answers to why does she need to have the boots and
You,
stuff. But
you know how
I
other
felt they
stories
gave
have
her
done this?
everything we needed, and it worked.
You know how other
But
stories have done this? Like the character's captured, and that's a big part of the plot to go get them. And we get multiple scenes of that person either in jail or attempting to escape or something to let us know, oh, this is still an important part of the story. Um, I think this would not be anywhere on my radar if I had gotten some larger world story beats that they just said, nope, you've got to watch 100 more episodes before you get those answers. And so this is just another hay on the pile that's breaking the camel's back.
uh, I I mean, like when Rukia got captured and disappeared from Bleach, they do cut back to her in prison and finding out, hey, they're coming for you, and I wish they wouldn't. Um, so I see that, but I
Heck,
think
Eminence and Shadow did it better.
nothing. I'm just gonna do better than anything. Um, no, so I think the reason they do it the way they do it is because her being captured by the big bad of this arc is a red herring. You're supposed to be like, oh, they're gonna save Amo. They have to find Amo, and then they obviously don't. She's not there, and then it's like, wait, well then where is Amo? It's okay to have a mystery, and again, as long as the writers don't forget about her, and like they go 3 seasons and no one, everyone stops talking about Amo. She never comes back in the story. That's the worst. When the show ends, you're
Well,
like, wait, what about Amo? She was captured in season 1. Where'd she
but
go? I will have a major issue with that. But
can
as
you
long as it's
can,
important to the plot, I'm fine with it.
do you understand why she's such a favorite amongst the community
No,
outside of the
that I don't.
manga? Okay.
And that's what I was trying to say. Like my thoughts on Amo. I really did enjoy the backstory. I really loved the. We joked about stinky boots, but that led to me like, oh, these are related to the 5 senses. Rudo's touch, she's smell. That means we still have vision, hearing, and taste items out there.
So Zodal's
Probably.
taste.
What's the cloak or the coat that the guy's
But
wearing?
I was making a joke. It's probably not taste.
Oh, it is taste.
Oh, it is?
I think it is.
His coat is taste.
I think his code effects gives him a taste power. I don't know how it works.
We actually, I don't even know what his power is.
Didn't we see him eat weird stuff?
Well, we saw him
Yeah, he
eat a
ate a
cockroach,
cockroach,
but
but it was
his
for
eyes weren't
shock value,
glowing.
he said. Yeah, he said it was just for shock value.
Was it?
Yeah, he said like we do a lot of things just
No,
for
no, I know
shock.
he said it. I'm just saying I don't think that's
Oh,
it.
you doubt him?
I
You don't trust what the villain says? What?
it
Weird.
doesn't. Thoughts on Amo? Okay. There's two sides of this coin because the one thing I want to really touch on is how she looks, like because she's in very skimpy clothes, and then the reveal that that's her childhood dress and she just has never changed it and she's bursting out of it fits in with a sad story, but it's still drawn so visually enticing that it kind of calls me back to that Goblin Slayer in the first scene where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, we're showing this horrible thing, but we're drawing it in like a sexy way. And I'm like, don't do that. If it's a tragic thing, I don't want it to feel sexy. I don't want those two things to mix. And I kind of feel that way about this. Yes, that's a perfectly good reason for someone to be in super close type fitting clothes, because she's obviously crazy and just not changing. But again, you're still making artist choices in the design, so I'm not crazy about it. I know she gets a different outfit in the future, which is much better.
What is the explanation for having the lace sewn into her thighs?
See that doesn't make any sense in the backstory they presented. So yeah, right. I agree with that. It's having your cake and eating it too, and that kind of feels a little uneasy for me.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, now we can go back to story. And a lot of this half is just fights or not fights, but recap's gonna be fast. We have a minisode next week. Yeah,
Keeps
so we
on
get
track,
almost backstory. She was sold off by her mother to a trader. He used her for years, kept her in that tower and imprisoned, and then eventually a flying angel to what are the powers called? Gosh, 3 weeks. What are
instruments?
Yeah, and then the cleaners are the one group.
Givers.
Two givers show up. They attack this guy, take his boots, immediately give him to Amo, and then they fly off with one of them growing wings, and they fly off to the sphere. She interprets this as an angel has given her the boots as a gift. And then the guy wakes up, and he's like, give me back my boots. And she's like, no, they were for Amo. You're a meanie head. And she ends up pushing him out the tower to his death. And then she, like Jeremy says, kills. Yeah. And she kills a lot of people. You're not really giving backstory on like she just started killing first, or were they attacking her? Where's her context for, is she defending her home when this group of strangers came in? It doesn't matter.
I believe it was similar to what she did with these guys. She's crazy. She'd probably do something crazy and then
what I do think she's very much I'll attack first, but I'm wondering if it is more of a defensive reaction to past events.
I
Like
I'm not
it's
going
the
to get in that situation again.
defensiveness of an insane person.
this
Yes.
Right.
out in the wilderness like this is fairly Mad Max-ish, so I'm gonna lean on more of the side of the majority of the people going to this tower were looking to loot and probably hurt her. So she was probably defending herself. But I'm sure there were some people that were just either looking for shelter or just like, wondering who this person is. And
Um, Rudo comes up and apologizes to her after she explains that when she saw the angel come back, and it was around the same time Rudo had fallen off. So the angel must be the killer that killed Rudo's father. That's what they put together. Rudo
Two went
offered
up,
her.
one came down.
Right. Rudo offers his hand, and she makes a comment about having felt empty, and then the boots made her feel whole, and she's trying to be human again. And I've been told that's an important statement, but I don't know why. It has to do with the the Watchmen series, but I don't know why.
Yeah, it's something about how only people who have lost a very important part of themselves, which sounds like due to some kind of tragedy or some kind of horrible thing that they've either done or had done to them. So for her, it's the backstory we've gotten. For Rudo, it's all the like accusations and the
It's got to
expelling
be the
him from
hands and stuff, and
in the
right,
hands. Whatever.
yeah,
Well, the hands may be like the biological side of it. I don't know if that's
right,
the
right. I'm saying like an
origin of the
event that led
trauma.
to the hands. Yeah,
Yeah, the hands plus the psychological trauma as well. I think just like with her, there's a psychological trauma,
yeah.
and I imagine with Zodal, there's also some kind of tragic backstory and psychological trauma. We see him as a kid standing over something at some point in a flashback. So yeah,
Classic.
I think
Again,
that's what it is.
very classic shonen stuff.
Yeah,
Um, they leave her, but they do give her a communicator because she's like, I do want to stay. Because they offered to come back. She don't want to stay, so they give her a communicator, and then they leave. And then we see she's abducted, or we hear someone abducting her, and then we see Jabber. Jabber's back, guys. Jabber came back. Uh,
imagine.
imagine Jabber's back. I
you know
assume
his
he
full name
took
is
her.
Jabberwonger, which to me is like Jabba no Wongo. Like
It's supposed to be a
so
reference to
dumb.
Jabberwocky, I'm sure.
I'm
But now it's
sure,
only
but
right.
man, it sounds so much like what we said.
Okay, we get a quick look at the main bad guy. We're gonna meet him a little bit. All right, the main group goes back to the doctor. Everyone's healed, full power again. That's important because we're about to go through a very
Tournament arc.
shonen. My daughter called it a tournament arc too, and I'm like, no, I call this a dungeon crawl. Only because Mashal's the one I remember, and usually it's we go forward a room. There's a new enemy. One of us splits off to fight them. We go on to the next room. There's an enemy. One of us splits off to fight them. And then you end up with your 4 or 5 battles at the same time. This was done differently, but it felt very much the same. We're in the enemy castle, and we all have to fight one individual enemy in our individual rooms, while the main character faces the main villain. Anyway, they go to. Oh no, we have to talk about after the doctor. They're told the sphere is passing over, so a sphere storm, basically garbage, is raining down. So they hide from the garbage. Then on the way back to base, they're told marauders are attacking the base. And then we find out the secretary is a OP, superpowered, time freezing, grab a missile and throw it back at you character who didn't need any help defending the base. Even though they do have a person who's very scared and apparently like has a safety blanket and it makes the base impervious to damage.
Yeah.
They're a
This
shut-in.
fight, I don't know. There was something about this fight I just didn't like. I don't know what it was.
I
It
don't know.
just
That was
felt
fine.
it felt like grandstanding. I don't know what it was. It just felt like a really pretentious fight. Um,
Th-
I don't know.
This was the twofold, right? One, it was to learn more about the mechanics of the base, but then also that the secretary is not just a secretary, that she's actually a capable fighter, and that she's just always wanted an office job, which I found very endearing. That was that was
I
funny.
did like it. Also, in when a new character or a new power is being shown, I'm fine with some aura farming. That's what my kids call it.
I think that's a perfect term for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not relevant, and we're not explaining exactly how it works, but now we know she doesn't just scan you and get a bio. She can freeze time something.
Look at you for longer.
She didn't seem to
She,
freeze it, but
she
she did
grabs
seem
a
to like
missile
make
out
it.
of the air.
Yeah, but she's able
Mhm.
to move it, like grab it while it's moving. So I think she
She
like Flash style freeze time.
well, she dodges bullets too, but they don't completely stop.
No, what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that she speeds up so fast that time
Yes.
dilates for her.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when she's
Um,
looking at you, she's just standing there looking at you for an hour.
I was fine with the scene because it was quick and I
Yeah,
do love a good throwback a missile.
absolutely.
They go to a restaurant slash bar to eat because you have to celebrate when you survive and pack on the calories. That makes kind of sense. Um, and we meet 3 new team members who are joining them.
Why?
We're going to talk about all 3 at once.
Because it's a
There's Dear Santa, there's Bro Santa, and there's Guta, who I do not believe is a Santa.
No.
Oh, so Dear has a magic pacifier, Bro has a magic headband, and Guta has her favorite pajamas, dinosaur pajamas.
She's the only cool one.
I do kind of agree with that. I don't have the problems. You guys seem to have problems with Bro and Deer. I think they're fine, but Guta is right up there with Engine now as one of my favorite characters, and I almost wish she was in a different anime because I really like Guta.
Bro is fine, but I think his power is underwhelming compared to everyone else's vital instrument.
Very much agree with
he,
that.
I
The
think
headband that gets longer.
yeah, and then for a vital instrument to be a pacifier is just weird. I just don't
When you're
like
10
it.
years old and you're still sucking on the nuck like that's
Like
just
I like
weird.
his I like his power. His power is interesting. I think it's slow and not usable in a fight,
He
but
sucks the power out of someone and uses it against them.
well,
He
not
has a
just
pacifier and he sucks the power out of his opponent.
that, but he has to hit their opponent with a weak punch and a weak punch and keep punching,
He's
punching,
sucking.
punching,
He said,
until
right. He said he's
Oh,
draining it out of them with every punch. He's draining their strength into himself.
is that what he said?
Yes.
I just remember hearing that
Explicitly.
every hit, like the damage increases.
Every hit, no, he explicitly said he drains whoever he's hitting, and he just has to keep hitting them, and he'll get stronger as long as he keeps hitting the same opponent.
To be fair, that makes a lot more sense with me for a pacifier because I was like, I don't get what a pacifier has to do with that.
Yes.
That explanation I like a lot better.
yeah,
I was dying.
but like a baby toy to be a vital instrument is just
Like, can you imagine
weird.
him being 30 years old and he's still got his nuck and he's fighting you? Like,
It's weird.
Yep. But you combine that with his attitude, and the attitude was just over the top for me. I absolutely hated it. Just this constant glare, the street glare that he's always doing, where he's like,
But
absolutely hated it. It was over the top.
Guto was great though.
Yeah, she was awesome. She was
I like-
funny. And her power was great. I anticipated that's probably what it was going to be. Especially when she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh boy, we can have a giant monster battle." It was like,
I like how he's
"Good."
like a 3, only a 3.
Yeah.
I've
Meaning
been told
she
it
can
goes
go
to 10.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she can definitely
Um,
kaiju battle.
I
That is cool.
don't have any of the problems you guys have with Deer. I liked him. Not like loved him or like, I gotta defend this character, but I didn't have any of the issues. He was fine. I like that he's non-verbally communicating. He's got very childish issues, especially since his big scene is this epically long conversation that isn't important at all, and he's sitting there like, "This is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb." I like that someone's reacting to that conversation in that way. I'm sure it's unusual, but
Well, I was reacting that way too.
there is definitely people who still suck on pacifiers long past their infancy.
Sure.
And if it
but not
has
10.
special meaning, you want to know what's crazy? I don't think I've really seen it before. Started watching the new the Welcome to Derry show. Opening scene is a 10-year-old kid who's sucking on a pacifier as clearly a you find out he's probably getting beat by his parents, but I I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is really a thing, and I've seen it in anime before, but
It can
that
mess
was
up
the first
your
time I've seen it
teeth,
live
That,
action.
though,
but
It
it
does
can
mess
mess
up
up
your
your
teeth.
it can mess up your teeth as you're
mess up your teeth
getting
We-
bad.
them in. So
I've raised a child. I'm aware. I've had to take binkies away. You're done with the binky
Tabasco
forever.
time.
No, I
That's what
just
my
took.
dad would do. Put it on your
Yeah,
thumb. Put it
I
on your
know
nut.
you.
Put it on
I just
anything.
took it away.
No, put the
yeah,
hot sauce on it.
no, we don't believe in child abuse here. Okay,
Hey, it didn't hurt me.
All right, we're moving on and not touching
moving
that
on.
okay, yeah. Oh yeah, we're at the restaurant, and then one of the mysteriously cloaked guys is like, "I'm actually the bad guy, Rudo."
Yeah, the not bad guy that everyone knew was a bad guy was definitely not, but is a bad guy.
And grabs Rudo. He grabs Rudo by the throat, and I looked at my daughter and I said, "They're doing the season 1 ending of My Hero Academia, where the bad guy did the same thing and came up to Deku in the mall in a cloak or in a hood and grabbed him by the neck and was like, "If I close my fingers, you'll die." And confront the villain confronting the hero. I'm like, this has been done. this is a repeat. That's my through line on Gachiakuta issues. Yeah, he reveals himself, and then all the cleaners spring into action, but that was the plan. Portal ladies there, they all jump into a portal. Then they get hit with a trash flood, and they all get swept down different tunnels to different locations, and then all the villain fighters teleport to their individual fights. And we have kind of a tournament arc going on. Just a little bit. Not a real tournament arc, not like, hey,
Right.
we play
No
baseball at
bracket.
the end of this, but yeah.
Yeah.
And, I've been thinking about that since we made that joke last time. There really are only so many ways you can set up 4 or 5 fights at the same time in a plot, realistically. Okay, we either need to do a dungeon crawl, or we need to do a tournament arc, or it's hard. But we do need to talk about Zodal. He is the main villain. Your guys' thoughts on Zodal?
I think he was a cool bad guy, especially for this story. However, I didn't like the way they contrasted you get rid of the waste, and then Rudo's like, you keep all the waste, or it's not waste, it's useful, and we recycle.
We are, man.
That dichotomy between the two was a little on the nose, especially for a trash world. I don't know, but as far I don't know what his power is. Like, I saw the purple stuff come from him. He's got the coat with the Watchmen series symbol on it. It was interesting that he said, like, basically the Watchmen series items makes you go nuts, and it's everything that you have to keep you from doing that. Because I was wondering, why doesn't he just put on the boots for an extra power boost, right? But that's not how they work. Or at least it is kind of how they work, but you'll lose your mind if you're not powerful enough.
And every time you eat a finger, you'll get closer to losing control. Wait, I haven't heard that before. That's Jujutsu Kaisen.
He doesn't lose.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't lose control. He's powering up Sukuna. That's completely different.
I'm saying the thing that gives you the power boost is also the thing that is dangerous.
But Yuji gets power boosts from training as well. So, anyways,
watching movies
specifically, real world movies as well. I did like the angle of the bad guy. How this, he's not just doing evil plots to do evil plots, but these are specific experiments that he's set up his own parameters for, and he's watching for specific outcomes. That was cool. Yeah, so I thought he was a pretty decent, like, big bad guy.
I liked him. I liked how dead-eyed he was the whole time in his conversations. He made very calculated decisions until he didn't, and then he was reactive, but he still pretended he was being calculating. Um, I do think that he talked too much and exposited his.
He's the bad guy. Of course he's gonna talk.
I know, it's such a tropey thing,
I
but
was
it
about to
was really
say
driving me nuts.
the English voice actor for him is I love every time he shows up in an anime.
He was
Oh,
He's
hell
he
so
yeah.
was
good.
good.
His
Love
voice
those
is so
voices.
silky, but then commanding as well. It's so good.
That's cool. There were just times where I was like, okay, you don't have to keep saying this was an experiment or this is part of the experiment and oh, it's an experiment. You're going to do an experiment. This was the last experiment. It's another experiment. I'm like, it's the same. We get it. It's an experiment. Let's move on. Um, it was just there was a lot of repetition from him. That was my biggest complaint about him. Um, as a side note, I did look up what his power was just to see. Do you want to
Cheater.
know, or would that be a spoiler?
I don't think we can spoil
We
anything
saw it
past the anime.
because we saw it. We saw his power. It
If
just
you
didn't
can,
click.
If we saw it, then it's not spoiler.
yeah, if you can explain the scene
Mhm.
and that is, and then stop there, I think that would be fine.
Yeah, his power is he can change his shape by eating something. So you were right, Troy. It is taste based. He ate the cockroach, and then when he flew down and attacked him, he was literally like growing cockroach wings basically to fly.
My Hero Academia did it. Sun
Is this
Eater
a,
has that literal power.
is this the anime version
Literally.
of Simpsons did it? Like, like
No,
what?
it's the polar opposite of that. It's where you're taking from everybody else who already did something and then putting it together. Um, I do like him as a main villain. I've been turning this over in my head, and my issue is I'm frustrated we're meeting such a cool main boss villain so soon. I feel like it's too soon to have him go all in. Here's a master plan, and like we're literally face to face with him. In My
I
Hero Academia, they brought the big muscular bird thing, right? And he did all the fighting. Um,
The
not the
henchman.
main bad guy. Yeah. Um, it just feels for season one to face off against the main villain, which ended fine. It just felt like this feels almost like finale. I think that's why I listed it as movie, and I said that as a compliment, just to be clear. But that's why I kind of felt like this guy got main villain energy way too early in a long form story. So it feels like is he the guy? Is there bigger villains past him? But he feels way too smart and cool to be used this early, or again, this is the kind of villain you'd see in a movie. Like he's so cool and he's so thing, but he's a one and done that we're using for this big cinematic moment.
I
I was really surprised he survived, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna be the long form villain, and we spent that much time with him already. He's not the puppet master in the dark pulling strings for like 3 seasons before we get really up to face with him. Because again, it's long form storytelling.
he's part of the Watchmen series. There's no way they could have avoided it, in my
Why
opinion.
you could reveal 3 seasons later that he has also a Watchmen series while his lieutenant did this. And that's a very minor detail because again, I like the character. I just and you can say it's unique. It's not even really a complaint. It's just if something feels off to me because, like I said, it just feels so early for this big a villain to be on this big of the stage.
Yeah, for Sukuna to come out and like start kicking butt for like way so soon, and that was so bad.
Nobody's teased, which is, this guy was too. He's like teased for a little bit, but here we have all his whole plan, and we have to do this major battle to take down his plan. That there wasn't 12 episodes of just dealing with Sukuna in season one.
So why was he watching a TV with snow on it?
Hey man, when you're in the wasteland, you find any entertainment you can.
Yeah,
I mean, it must be something some giver created that has some special properties, but I really thought that was part of his power was like omniscience or something.
uh,
And
we've
that,
seen TV
yeah,
static a couple times with it. I think in the
yeah.
old OP had a TV feature too, so it could, yeah, you could be onto something there. All right, I'm gonna move forward. So we have a bunch of fights here, kind of. We
Engines is the
have
best.
Which one?
absolutely 100% agree.
Engines fight is the best.
We'll start with it. Engine's facing off a little guy named Fu who's terrified of everything, and their entire battle is Fu begging Engine to start the fight because he's so timid. He's like, I was told I had to fight you, but I can't start it. So if you'll attack me, then we could have a fight. And
I
Engine's
think
like,
his
oh,
powers. I think his powers based off it as well.
Yeah, it's got to be.
maybe.
I think his power literally does not activate unless he's taken a hit.
So
There's a point where he gives control over to it, and I think that's activating his power when he's just like, "Oh, they abandoned me."
His
the
eyes
second-
never glow when he's talking to that
Well,
that thing though.
Yeah, I think when it zoomed out is when he gave it the power over.
All right, spending way too much time on tiny details. Baka baka baka. 225 episodes. 7. The fight is, yeah, it's literally that, and Engine being like, no. I'm gonna go do something else.
I think my favorite part about it is it's so in line with the Engine that we know from the previous 18 episodes. Like when he's like, I need you to hit me, and like you see this expression on Engine's face, and you're just like, there's no way he's gonna hit him. He's like, nope, I don't want to. I got other stuff to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through the other fights, and so again, these are shown in very shonen style, like 5 minutes of this one, 5 minutes of this one, 5 minutes of one, to kind of compound with some of Jeremy's complaints. One thing I was really frustrated is when one character would get something explained to him, but then we'd have to jump to another scene of another character getting the same thing explained to him. Hey, this is what our base is. Hey, did you know this is what our base is?
What?
Hey,
and every one of them did the same expression. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
There might have been like one quick cut of like, that's what your base is, and skipped a little bit, but it's still, again, it was, we had to see everyone react to it.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna again start with the fights. The first fight is Zonka and Jabber. So Zonka gets his rematch against Jabber, and this time he's doing really well. Got Jabber figured out, beats him up, and then Jabber's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so good! I'm gonna go Super Saiyan." It's called going all out in this series. And he powers up, his claws get huge. He gets like extra giant claws, and I don't like the look. It seems super unwieldy compared to his regular claws. I like the idea of like his power enhanced. I'm fine with the all out thing, but Jabber's all out design just
needs some work.
To me. And so then we find out Zonka. Yeah, I was already trying my best. Zonka. Then that's when we get Zonka's backstory. We already kind of alluded to it. He was the best, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he's so good." And then a real, actual elite talent showed up, and he realized I kind of am just mediocre. They had his magic weapon choosing. He chose a random stick that ended up on the table by accident, thinking he was being clever. And then he hid in a well until Engine came across him and was like, "Yeah, you feel better for yourself." And that was his backstory. So his whole thing is like, I'm gonna keep trying my best, even if I'm not the talented one. And barely manages to hold on, cracks a rib on Jabber,
which makes him excited.
Jabber again. He likes to be hurt, so he's like, "Oh, you do have the ability to hurt me, awesome!" And then Jabber stabs him
in the chest.
He's like, "I don't care. I'm getting up. I'm gonna keep going. My emotions will persevere through this fight." And then we realize he's actually still on the ground, hallucinating, just like convulsing and
I like that.
The mouth.
I did too. What I didn't like is that he took a mortal wound and didn't get medical attention for an extended period of time. Zonka's dead.
Yeah, I agree with that too. He got stabbed real deep by that claw.
Real deep, right in the center of the chest.
Yep.
He's bleeding out,
and he
This
got
a-
carried
and he
around by
had
Rio
toxin,
for a while.
and he had 2 toxins in his blood. He's dead.
This anime makes very clear that real world mortal wounds are not the same as mortal wounds in their series.
And that's what makes me not care about anything that happens, because there's no stakes.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
I mean,
It's not that you can't die, and I'll agree. Like, hey, we're not killing characters, or we're not setting that limit. But again, a lot of anime say, in our world, this is where the line is versus the real world. We like to get a little extra bloody. We like to have 10 bullets hit a person in the chest and they'll be fine.
or have Gris get stabbed in the chest. in the
I'm
first
fine with
half.
it as long as it's consistent. I don't care if you change the level, if that's just how you want to do your fights. I do prefer like an explanation of it. Hey, we're aliens and we don't do this. Hey, I regenerate. That's just what we do. But again, my issue is more consistency than it's a over the top fighting anime. It happens all the time.
I I would agree, except when you have a large cast. The moment you get a large cast, you are giving up a massive impact potential in your storytelling if you never let any of them die. I mean, that's the point of having such a big cast. Let some of them die so it resonates.
Well, not for every story, but
And also in the first season, I'd rather build the cast and then knock one off in season 2 to show the stakes have increased.
Yeah, then you're stuck with the question of, well, if that killed them, like I guess maybe you'd have to have them go in a blender or something, like dismember them, or like how do you do enough damage so that it's convincing and people don't go back and be like, well, why didn't this person die from an injury like this?
That's easy. You disintegrate them.
Yeah,
yeah, there you go.
yeah, you could do that.
Oh wait, that's already happened, and she's apparently lived. Anyways, let's move on.
She didn't get disintegrated. There was a silhouette.
Um, something does happen, but it's sequentially in order. So that's the end for. Any other thoughts on Zongo? Oh, the English dub. This is the English dub scene that matters. After Jabber wins, he sings his little song, but in the English dub, the rap is way more freestyle and it's a better rap. It's a much better rap in English dub. The actor clearly was having some fun and not just sticking to the script. Um, any other thoughts on the fight?
No, it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty to watch.
The next one I'm going to go to then is Deer and Bro versus Bundus. If you watch the English dub, this is the most Texas drawl you've ever heard in your Texas drawl live,
True.
which I loved. It's a very soothing drawl the actor went with, and he just sits there like, answer me questions about your leader. This is when we find out the leader is so mysterious. No one knows anything about him. He's got a tattoo of an eye on his back of his head, but it can blink and move. So what is that about? But anyway, he asks a bunch of like silly questions. What's his favorite dessert? You know, what does he do on vacations? What is it music to listen to? That kind of stuff. And Bro is like, I don't know the answer to any of those questions. Sorry, I guess I messed this up. And he's like, nope, that gives me tons of information. Thank you so much. I'm supposed to fight you, but you're being so kind and hospitable, and I'm from Texas. No offense, Jimmy. When the big reveal of the base is revealed, they start punching the walls, and he's like, okay, I guess I have to stop you. And then they go for the fight. But by then, the walls have turned, and they're falling down the hill, and they're about to actually fight, and then a car hits them. And they all end up in the same car. Yeah,
I hate this.
There's no way the physics works. It's clearly cartoon physics.
It's so bad. Like, but right in the middle of like everything else, are we supposed to take it seriously, or is this like Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
Like, what are we looking at here?
Zonka just got stabbed with an enormous piece of metal and is bleeding out after a brutal fight. We get this other brutal fight between the two girl characters, and then now we're doing Looney Tunes.
Yeah, car pinball, where sometimes it bounces off, doesn't take any damage, doesn't do any damage. Other times it hits large masses of land and breaks the masses of land, but the car doesn't take damage, and they're worried about crashing. Like,
okay, so if I took this scene out of the anime and I just watched it in a clip, I'd laugh because there are some really funny moments. Like he's got the
Like
wheel, and then
it would
the guy's like, "Here, let me help you drive," and then all of a sudden, oh, the wheel's actually not attached. And then they go, "Oh, steer the car. We need the steer." And then they look, there's no wheel. Like those are great
Yeah.
comedic moments, but like in the context of what's happening, it's so
Doesn't fit.
jarring.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I agree.
I've found this anime to be a little on the sillier side. We've had
A
some
little,
poop jokes. Well,
yeah.
I agree with Jeremy's earlier statement. It's the grit that's the causing the dissonance.
I'd agree.
It's not the silly.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's not the I lived through 10 bullets. It's that, hey, this is a serious wound and we need to treat it. You just killed everybody. That kind of stuff. Or I want to go up to the sphere and murder every person on it. Then we
right.
have wacky Looney Tunes falling in the car.
Right.
I think the grit is the dissonance,
I'd agree.
Yeah, I agree.
because I did laugh at the scene and I really liked it.
Oh my god.
Like I said, by itself, it's a good scene. It's funny. It's just
I to be fair, I love the idea that even the bad guy wound up in the car with them in the back seat as a passenger, and that they're all trying to figure out how to stay alive in this funny scene. And so like their fight goes in, in the back seat, so to speak,
Mhm.
to their survival. And yeah, in any other anime that was a joke, that was a okay, that was one of the things I told Tanya when I was just talking about how the rest of the anime was. If this anime was a parody, I actually would have liked it.
yeah. If
I
this
think
was a
there
joke
was a
anime,
lot here. Yeah,
yeah.
that they wouldn't have had to go that far to make it a full-on parody.
A lot of shonen have some sillier moments of them, but they find the way to. I mean, Down to Dawn's full of silly moments and serious moments, but again,
So is
they're
Bleach.
masterful blending. Yeah, I think like Naruto, Thousand Years of Death, and we also have the Pain arc. So there's I know you guys don't know what those is, but the audience probably
No.
does. It's just very dark tone, dark backstory. But we've also it's Naruto. There's been a ton of poop jokes, pee jokes, cartoony stuff. Um, yeah, in Mashal, like if this scene was in Mashal, it would have fit right in.
Hundred
Because
percent.
Mashal was so silly, even though it was very much
Yeah.
following shonen rules. But yeah, this scene alone, and I'm not here to talk about these villains. That they don't really serve long, but this is my favorite of all the villains, except for Fu is to be seen. I like what they're doing with them, but Bundus, as in he's not like super evil. He's not really even that involved in this. It's more like a job interview for him, and he's
He's like a
happy to just
mercenary.
yeah, he's just happy to talk to these guys, and if it works out that he fights them, he'll do it. But he's not really what he's here for. He's not manipulative or evil. And so the fact that they're about to fight, he's like, okay, I'm finally going to fight you. And they end up in this car and they're working together to try to survive, and how it switched like that back and forth. I was enjoying that. Everything before it was kind of silly, other than I liked
I
Santa's power, but also it's not as good as his sisters.
I like this villain. The scenes of Bro, Deer, and him were complete waste of times. This time could have been spent well spent literally anywhere else with any of the other characters.
I agree with part two. I don't fully agree with part one. I mean, it was. I was fine with this being the expedition dump. The problem is we're getting the expedition dump in another
And
place and another place. at the
Engine's
same time.
scenes served the exact same purpose.
Yes. They should have just used this for the expedition dump and had everyone else doing their fights.
Yep.
His power is he has a mechanical arm, so all the arms he's ever had are in a giant thing on
Yeah,
his
he's
shoulder.
missing his left one.
He can control all his arms at the same time telepathically, and they all have different powers. I thought that was cool. Cool power set.
The one that took me out was the
Scare
scary
the kid.
animals on
Yeah.
the fingers. That just took me out of it. I was like, what are we doing?
Why did you make this one? Like, what was its original purpose?
All right. The So we also have Rudo's thing. And I want to say that one for last. So we're gonna go to Rio's fight, and she's fighting Amazonian
Noir or whatever.
burlesque. I call her Lightning Hair.
Yeah,
She has this huge
Barbie.
long. Yeah, it's very Barbie.
Static electricity.
Uh, Yep, she uses static electricity. She has a comb as her item, and it builds static electricity to her hair, which she can use as an electric whip. And she fights Rio, who's using her giant scissors. We have to talk about the fight scene. I enjoyed it, but Jeremy did not. He's going to tell
So
you.
I enjoyed the fighting part of the
Yes.
fight scene.
Same here.
I did have like
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
couple of really funny things that I noticed. One of them was that throughout the fight, they made it very important to punch all and elbow all of the beauty standards on the wall, even though both of these girls meet all the beauty standards. So that was really cracking me up. And then also the 20 seconds of environmental parallaxing during the peak of the battle was pretty. Yeah, I counted it. It was 20 seconds.
Since I didn't know what that meant when you first mentioned it, can you explain that?
Yeah. So parallaxing is when two images move at different speeds, and so it looks like you have a little background perspective. And so when you would have like the camera is shifting and you're seeing part of the background from this angle, and then the camera shifting and you know the trash in the front is moving a little faster than the background wall. It did that. It had like three different images, three different scenes that it would play while you'd hear that bang 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 in the background. Like there's nothing going on in the scene. There's no flashes, there's no nothing. 20 seconds straight of that. And I was like, they must be saving this budget. It's got to be spent elsewhere because 20 seconds is way too long.
What do you think of the song?
It's all right.
I don't remember it.
I remember it.
I loved it. We're
Wait,
not
it was
rivals. We're not
beating-
equals.
Yes, that. Oh my god. Okay, this was where Tanya started scoffing and she's like, "Oh my god. Yeah, it's so hard to be pretty."
That's not what the song's about at all.
No, it was a combination of like they're punching the beauty standards and then talking about equality in the song, and she's
That
like, "Oh
what?
my
Oh,
god,
whoa! That's not what the
we're
song
not
is.
equals."
This song's about like I'm so much better than you. I'm gonna kick your
Yeah.
butt. It's a fight song.
You know,
Yeah, it's a fight song.
And it's banger. And I went to go play it just like I did the OP on my personal playlist, and it's not released yet. It's this the OP singers release. It doesn't come out till February. I think they're featuring the song, and they stalled the animation to get more of the song in. That's just a theory I have.
100%. I agree.
Like, because the song's not released. You cannot. The only way to listen to this song right now is to play this clip from this anime. The song that this artist is releasing in February. It's a preview of their new song featured in this anime. So they made the fight. I don't either, but I do love the song.
That's a very interesting justification, though. I think that's actually intriguing if that's true.
Because I tried to get it and it's not out.
The song was decent. It wasn't something I'd put on my playlist, but it served the fight very well.
Here was my thought while listening to it, though.
Hero power.
It's on the wrong fight. Because it's very much a, hey, we've fought dozens of times, but I need you to know we're not like rivals. We're not Naruto and Sasuke here. You're nothing to me. You're just a stepping stone in my path of beating people. Would have done much better in the Jabber fight. But they featured it because there's a girl singer with the girl fight, two people who don't know each other. So it doesn't really, the lyrics don't match their fight unless they've had fought, multiple times in the past. This is a fight song for rivals, and then one of the rivals saying, actually, you're not on my level, which is a really cool fight song theme.
Would have worked way better for Jabber's fight. Yeah, you're right.
Right, because they fought before. For two strangers having their very first fight, it's a really cool fight. It's fine. It has nothing to do with what Jeremy is talking about, but not even it has nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah,
that's so dumb.
It was aura farming, 100% aura farming.
He doesn't know what the definition of aura farming is.
Yes, it was. It was them
No,
being cool because the song made them sound
no,
cool.
that's not aura farming.
Always
Man.
have a cool song in the background of a fight. That's
Wait.
just
What is aura farming then? Did I misunderstand it?
Yes. So when are you going to show your aura? When you're standing there, showing your presence, getting everyone to look at you. Like that like what the
The
secretary was doing when she was standing in front
secretary
of
paused,
everyone.
it's
and that was
being
part of
cool
the
instead
aura
of being useful.
farming.
Right. When
Yes.
she's just standing there being
Or
cool.
or being more cool than you need to be while you're being useful.
No.
That would also be aura farming.
Like Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. It's a great example of horror farming. Lot of people blowing up, and then you're just like, but I'm Superman.
Right.
I'm not hating it.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
like some horror farming. I'm not saying that's gonna sound like I'm starting a fight. I actually like Man of Steel, but you know when a building's blowing
I-
up behind you and you're looking cool in front of it instead of making sure you know it's walking away from explosion without looking at it instead of making sure debris is not going to hit you. You're just doing cool stuff for the sake of being cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do think that aura farming is appropriate in that context then.
I don't think there's any context that make it fit for this because it's just
Yeah.
a fight song
They're just
and
fighting.
all
it
fights
totally
should
fit.
have fight
It,
songs.
no, it totally fit. I mean, the fact that they're punching beauty standards on the wall, it just there's messaging going on.
Well, sure, that's a bit on the nose, but I mean that's not your knowledge of internet lingo is cringe. How about that?
Well, that may be true, but this is still aura farming.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go move forward. Um, this fight ends with Rio losing, and just not revealed it. Pulls out a gun and shoots her opponent after having a conversation like, "Hey, no one can hear us. You're right. Yeah, no one can hear you scream." That's not what I meant. Bang, bang, bang. Breaking shonen rule fights. Like it's supposed to be power against power, and obviously it's unwritten rules, right? And there's no actual rule you have to follow. But I was like, wait, can she do that? You allowed to just end a fight with? Actually, I have a real world weapon that just kills people. Bam.
Which the Marauders also had.
Yeah, yeah. Guns. I mean,
Oh, they
it's
did
not
have an
like
RPG. Yeah.
guns have very
Mhm.
much existed in this world.
Yeah.
We've seen people dodge bullets. This is their first time someone taking bullets. And then she walks out and she shoots Jabber a bunch of times in the back. And the reveal is that Rio is an assassin, and that when she had joined Engine, she had promised not to kill anyone anymore. But you know, she just loosey goosey with that one. And this entire time of flirting with Rudo has been being in position to murder him if he's not trustworthy. Why she was in his bed one night, you know, she was just getting ready for the kill in case, you know, she's just checking in. Is this someone who's a danger to us? I will murder him if so.
I loved the idea that she broke the shonen rule by pulling out a gun. I hate the execution of how it was done. Where this electric hair lady was shot, if she doesn't receive medical attention within 15 minutes, she's dead because the writer has a fundamental misunderstanding of what 9mm bullets do to a body when they enter.
Right. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I just
Isn't that a collarbone shot that is typical?
it was a
in most
little lower
action
than the
movies?
collarbone shot, so the shockwave would have destroyed her lung and possibly bruised her heart. Like that's not an immediate kill shot, but that is an eventual kill shot.
I do think most action movies have the same problem then.
50 Cent was shot multiple times and lived.
Right,
That's true.
because he received medical attention.
Probably.
And Jabber got shot. You can see four holes in his chest and abdomen. Like he's
Jabber is. I would be more.
he's not
inclined to
recovering.
Complain about him. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, and also the scene with the secretary was fine because it showed it what it did is it made a mockery of weapons, real world weapons versus gifts.
Mhm.
This broke that. So what this means is that normal people can just arm up and kill the givers.
That's exactly my problem with it.
Yes.
It meant that they're not as strong as they seem to be. A regular military could just wipe them out.
Yeah. So if the secretary is not paying attention and someone just snipes her from out the window, or well, I mean, obviously not this base because it's impenetrable because of the kid in the basement. But what I'm saying is like, if someone sneaks up behind her, it's over. Like this is why. Well, okay, Dragon Ball Z is a bad example because Goku gets shot and
But he's
almost
afraid of
kills him.
needles.
And he's afraid of needles.
Oh yeah, and he almost dies from bullets.
Right, but like either make a mockery of the weapon and make it to where it's not a thing, or now it just takes a military force to take these guys out.
Yeah.
Which
The
we
militia from
see.
one of the towns.
Yeah, no, this is all firmly established.
What do you mean?
Like there's literally a police force that deals with the cleaners if they go.
We have
get out
no
of
idea
hand
what
that-
this
that have
We
no
don't know what
force
power.
their
does.
power is.
The
Like, we
fact
don't know
that
what they're capable of.
the
Yeah,
fact
we-
that they can walk into cleaners base and start making demands without any fear.
They could all be givers.
No,
we have
because
no idea what these guys' powers
they
or
don't
what
like
their force
givers.
is. Yeah,
No,
but
they
what's
don't
their
like
force?
cleaners. I didn't get any inclination that they didn't like givers in general. They just
Th-
don't
What's
like
their
it-
power?
Okay,
It's not even that they don't
one at a
like
time,
them,
please,
they just
please,
wanna-
please. Get in line, girls. Zonko's backstory gave all the details on these guys. They train to beat cleaners. They don't have powers. They are not givers. Now he becomes a giver and has to leave or chose to leave. Either way, he's not with them as a giver, and he's kind of an exile from them because he is a giver. Yeah, it's very much implied givers aren't the strongest force in the land, that this police force that gives them orders, they say we're not going to follow them, but they clearly march in and say you're giving us this guy, and they're like, yeah, no, but they're not weak. They're not like, hey, please, givers, I know you have powers, can we have that guy? They're like, hey, you want to go to war with us, give us the guy.
Yeah, you're right.
I
They have access to hard to get items such as firearms.
I'm just
and
wondering if
are-
they have the ability to mass produce paint, what's to stop a force from mass producing guns? And if guns are now more powerful than givers, what's the point of givers? Just shoot the trash beasts with rockets and we're
Yeah.
done.
That doesn't kill a trash beast. You have to use the magic energy, which is why the cleaners are allowed
you
to
need a
exist.
giver to finish it off. Well, then I don't know why you would be so resistant to, like, just make the givers a contingent of your military, so
And-
that there's always a giver to
They-
do the
And
final
if the
strike.
raiders
Yeah,
if the
yeah,
raiders
too
don't
independent.
care about trash beasts, why aren't they just all packing?
What?
If the raiders don't care about trash beasts, or if they're creating trash beasts, then why do they care about being givers? Why aren't they just all packing?
Oh, why aren't they just using their guns since they're not fighting trash beasts, so they don't need the magic power for that?
They don't
Guns are
need
more
magic
powerful.
power. Yeah.
I mean, we
It
just
does
saw
say
a character
guns
who
are hard to
does.
get. It does say guns
Who?
are hard to get.
Rio. She literally brings a gun with her because she's like, yeah, sometimes don't need giver power, just need a gun.
Right.
Yeah, but she's the odd man out.
All I'm saying, I feel the series is consistent. There's one character who had the ability to deal with it, but everyone else, yeah, bullets are
I agree.
vulnerability.
There is a consistency, and my complaint isn't with the consistency. My complaint is with you've just now made your cool superpower that the whole story's based around not all that special anymore. That's all I'm saying.
They're unique in what they can do. And here, okay, we're right at with the reveal I wanted to do anyway. The twist or the special thing about the shonen anime, you guys aren't going to like this, is that these aren't fighters. They are monster killers.
Right.
They're
They-
they're
they
terrible at
make-
fighting.
They make that very clear in they're
Well,
in the Beast.
for a
Yeah, I
shonen
like that.
battle anime, the good guys don't win a single fight.
Yeah, they did. Zanka won the fight
Well,
against Sand Lady, and
they
who did
beat-
Yeah,
fight
okay.
in
They
that's
beat
fair.
prosthetic guy.
But they weren't even fighting. They were just trying to shoot the thing, and he was trying to stop them. No one was attacking each other.
That's true. He was defending, and they beat the defender.
Zonka loses to Jabber twice. Bruto again is just trying to shoot past the wall. Rio loses her fight, so she pulls out a gun and ends it. The arm guy and Santa, they just talk it out. Engine skips his fight. There's no fight won by a super powered character on the good guy team. And you're right, the mud one is one I forgot, but that's really kind of a here's how my power works. That character didn't
Mhm.
even come back,
Yeah.
or is referenced again. It felt like an ore farm. Not really.
Ah!
Kudukuch.
Yes, it was. You said it.
Oh god, it's gonna be a thing going forward. I'm just saying, and like I said, I'm fine with it because they've also had like Rudo saying, "Why do we always keep fighting when we should be talking?" Or he said something of similar ilk. This is almost an it's not anti-fighting because they clearly have big fight scenes,
They're
but I was
fighting
just
the
like,
set. I was thinking about this after the fight sequence when they were in the big monster, and
mhm,
I was like, this was actually really cool because it was like the bad guys were saying, "Hey, let's fight," and they were like, "No, we're just going to destroy the set."
yeah, we're monster slayers, and you made a monster, so
Yeah,
that's what we care. And Engine even says that
I haven't
I'm
seen
not
that
really a
before.
fighter. I'm here to kill beast. If
Hmm.
this is a beast, then I know what my next thing to do. I'm only pointing out because I wanted to be fair to this anime because I said it's only doing its own thing. Jujutsu Kaisen, hey, we're doing the tropes where we're making crazy fights. This has its thing, and it's clearly resonating with some people. I don't know if anyone else is noticing, but it can almost like it's not an anti-fight message, but it's like that's not the important thing of a shonen battle. I it's an interesting, unique thing to never have your main characters like OP their way out of a power fight.
At least not in the first season. We don't know
Right,
where they're
right.
going to go from
Yeah,
here, but
I'm
yeah.
just saying what I've seen. I have no idea what happens next. I just thought it was crazy to have all these shonen battles and not one character was like, actually, after we've seen my backstory now, I have a third power you weren't ready for, and ace up my sleeve, and now I win. Never happens.
I hate Electric
Well,
Girl's hair at power, by the way. I just have to get that off my chest. And
Yeah.
I
the
don't
only
hate the
part
power
that
itself, I hate the way it works.
the only power I didn't like from her is I don't understand why her shoulders were on fire. Was that just a side effect of being too close to the electricity?
Yes. Because
Yeah,
electricity
she
by its
said
nature is heat.
Sure, but like that must have hurt.
So so what happens when you have a bunch of static electric charge and you go and touch your
Oh.
refrigerator? You get shocked too.
Yeah.
okay.
Also, no matter how big of an electric static charge you have, you're not going to get to continue it going on and on and on. And I thought her instrument was the comb, not her hair.
It is the comb. Comb generates electricity so she can manipulate
But
her.
in the last scene, the comb was nowhere to be found. It was just her hair on electricity.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Well,
Um,
wait. She
uh,
abandoned the comb. I know, but she abandoned the
yeah, that's
comb.
what he's saying, and he's right. So maybe it is the
But
hair.
that's but by abandoning it, it infused her hair in more
That's
energy
why I'm
because
saying
abandoning
I hated
something
her
is more
power because
powerful.
it
And
was
then also
inconsistent.
she didn't like turn it off, which is why it was burning her hair up. So she could have always turned it off. It only needed one charge. She could have just allowed it to continue to work. It may not be real world electricity, but that's their stated system.
Yeah, I don't have much issue with magic power working in a magically unrealistic way.
Yeah. I don't either.
I don't know if you know this, but you can't actually drill stuff with an umbrella. Just
If you put a blade on it, you might be able to.
Right?
hell yeah. Um, all right. So now to like the real meat and potatoes, which isn't really that much meat and potatoes. It's Zodal being like, "Hey, Rudo, you got those gloves. I got this coat. I've also got the boots. Want to team up? You can just join me. I want the same thing you want. I want to go kill the sphere. I'm very angry at them. Rudo, you're very angry at them. That's the parallel. They're both reacting on their anger.
That's it.
Uh,
That is
yeah,
such a shallow parallel.
This is Vader offering Luke to join him.
no, it. Okay, hold on. It's their motivation is the same, and that's why they're the same, but they're going about it different ways. Rudo is having friends and allies. Zodal is burning everything around him to get his revenge and deal with his anger. Rudo is embracing community. White dove, black
Well,
dove.
I mean, you're right. It is a parallel. It's just not a deep parallel. It's not
Right. It's
enough
perfect
to
for
be
a
a.
movie.
Or
Yeah,
a
it's
shonen anime that's directed at 13-year-olds.
yes. It's not enough to give the outro a deep sense of like, wow, this is profound, which is where what I thought was being implied in our previous conversation. But no, this parallel, yeah, I can see that.
I think this
It
is a
it.
demographic mix match is the problem for us
I mean,
or for
99% of
me.
the anime we watch is
Clevitus wasn't.
That's true.
little bit. We're getting old, guys. There's more gray hair than not gray hair in our beards in
know.
this anime.
How dare you?
If we take the data of gray hairs in our beards,
Yes. What's the mean and the median?
I'm still mourning. What
Rudo says
what-
no, I don't want to join you. I like my friends, and you don't have any.
Yeah.
You don't have any friends.
Yeah.
and then
They're all
Zelda's
just
like,
servants to you.
right. Also, Dragon Girl has been wandering around lost because she's too OP to get involved in anything, and she has found the center.
And then
Rudo
she-
was taken to the center, and he attaches the boots to it. Hey, I'm the one making the beast with the items in them, and those were experiments, and this is my newest experiment, and now I've attached a Watchmen series boot, so that should be enough to wake it up. Yada yada yada. Rudo rejects him. I choose friendship. Oh yeah, where's your friends? I'm attacking you. And then
Rudo
right
falls
then,
and hits her head because she has to be out of the fight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The bird's taking off, so that's why all the angles are changing. That's why they the hand guy and the Santa brother, whatever, are falling.
And apparently this bird's 14 miles long.
Okay, but the important part, it's a kaiju. It's fine. Important part. You don't have any. I choose my friends. Well, where are they? Engine pops out right then. They're right here. And then you see the flashback of Engine being like, "I'm gonna go that way."
I like how he comes out of it, and he's just like, nailed it.
and they put the bad guy's like, he knew where to go. No, he's just guessing. He's just a really good guesser. it's silly. Then everyone shows up. They have to fight the hand guy. They're trying to destroy the core. Zodal's like, I think I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go through a portal and I'm gonna go. I've seen enough. If they get over a certain line, they can't come back. They'll be in the sphere territory because there's apparently it's not
should just die. That's what they're worried about.
Right. Because it's not just sky between them and the sphere. There's something else.
And they don't know what it is.
They don't know what'll happen when they go through it. That's what the experiment's for. Lightning Hair Girl recovers from her bullet wounds. Oh no, they get the core. They defeat the hand guy. Lightning Girl comes back. She's kicking everybody's butt. They can't
it's the
win.
Typical shonen delay where like they could have ended the fight, but they didn't. And now they've got to fight again.
She goes all out. Oh no, okay. The reason I'm bringing this up is she's mad about being shot, and Engine's like, "Are you killing people?" No.
He saw her braid. I actually really liked that. There was this subtle moment where you'd see him look over at her, and she changed her hairstyle, so that's what he's seeing. I wish that they would have left that alone, and then later he would have said something. But he immediately said, "You killed someone." And
That's
I
the
thought,
scene it was.
That could have been more subtle.
Okay, so they fight the hand guy, beat all his hands. He leaves with Zodal. Electric Girl comes out. I think that might reverse. Doesn't matter. They can't beat her, and then a hole opens up in the side of the garbage due to Rudo's misfired shot earlier. He went all out and changed his nail gun from a super nail gun to a Super Saiyan 2 nail gun.
Yes,
a mech nail gun.
She gets sucked out of it, and we see a giant man.
Or just body.
Body,
It's like the Paintress.
Human. Yeah.
And she realizes that they're making a mistake, and she's like, "Oh God, I need to tell Zodal." And then the thing we've been arguing about: does she die? Does she not? I don't remember.
Her top half literally gets disintegrated off the screen.
I thought she died. I don't remember the mattress scene, but
so
3 weeks, so it's fine.
So a couple things happen that are very interesting. Like she sees
Trying
it, she says it's the Watchman. Yeah,
It
she
is
says
the
it's the Watchman. Yeah, and then inside they see the black flash, which we know happened, and then her silhouette goes by. So it could have been that the black flash was the first flash, and then she disintegrated. So her silhouette was her before she disintegrated. But then like you said, Jason, she appears on a mattress later, completely not disintegrated. But she did say something precious gets taken away from you when you cross the
Yeah, and she
Rubicon.
loses her comb doing it.
Yeah, she tries to reach out for it and she can't grasp it because she sees it in the rubble.
Right.
I'll bet you that's important for how Rudo got down. But I
But
don't
he
know
still
what he
has his
lost.
gloves.
Still have his gloves.
So I don't know.
Was the death of his dad?
Which two went up, one came down. Is
Yeah.
his dad the other one?
No, because that was only like 6 months
Oh.
ago.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
dad's been up on the sphere for a long time. He raised Rudo up there.
Yeah.
For
But
I
he
assume
did
more than
clearly
6
come
months.
from down below because he had
Yeah,
the
he's-
Watchman suit gloves.
Yeah. All right, yeah, keep going. They block up the hole with Kaiju Girl. She wakes up, she turns into a big kaiju. She blocks the hole, and then they finish.
I did not think that's what she was gonna do. I was like, oh, she's getting big. She's gonna do something cool. And she just plugged it like Alien.
And then they ride her down. They use her to cushion their fall and fall down. And then
I
all
have
the
a little bit of a problem with
reinforcements
that
arrive.
because, like, is she fluffy or is she tough?
Fluffy.
Then how can she fight trash beasts if she's
Don't think
fluffy?
about it. Let's move on.
They go visit Zonka in the hospital, and I can't tell if this is really good pre-planning or really bad fixing something, because Zonka had never gotten his original death blow back when they fought Amo, and so they have to explain why he almost died from a death blow.
Yeah,
And so they bring back the painter. I have her name. I'm not gonna say it.
Their
They
name.
they bring them back, and they explain. I got a silly joke idea in my head, and I went with it. And I'm like, what's the joke? Make your arm like this, and he does it. It turns into a big buff arm, and that's what they had painted on him, so that he never had the protection in the first place. Classic Zonko stuff, and Zonko takes it casually. I still get the sense of future villain because of I won't be. I'm not going to be strong enough to keep up with everything. I get that vibe. I have no idea if that's where it goes, but it feels very Sasuke to me.
Hmm.
Oh, Naruto's accelerating at a rapid rate, and I just can't seem to beat anybody. So, villains, it is.
I just couldn't stand the immediate jarring switch to this attempt at comedy that I didn't think was funny.
I think it's tension release. It's not much happens though. My notes are very short. There's a hospital visit. They talk a lot about Zonka for a character I don't feel we need to.
Yeah.
I feel like they put more time into this than leading up to their fight. His fight
Or
scene.
the man in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one else saw him. What do you want the
only
story to
Nerde.
do?
I wanted to tell me
Nerd Day
something. I
song.
wanted to give me some reason to like it.
Watchmen series. Watchmen series, Jason. Watchmen series.
I don't feel it's being any more secretive than any other long running shonen I've seen, man.
Dude, we've been talking about this barrier between the sphere for 23 episodes. And we
So,
finally get a
1/10
tiny
of the story.
glimpse. A tiny glimpse at this is the main world building event. This is they've literally built this world around this barrier of why they can't see the sphere, but they get the trash raining down. And then we get one little tiny glimpse of what is actually happening, and then no more information.
I was intrigued by
24
that
episodes.
I gotta admit that.
24 episodes. And I'm just like, I can't do it.
I can't understand where you're coming from.
It's exhausting is what it is. It's exhausting.
It's a television series. Movies tell you in an hour and a half, 2 hours, everything you need to know. Television series are all about kicking that can down the road
Stalling.
so you come back for the next season. That's what television is. It's
Right,
long
but
form entertainment.
when it stalls so far like this, I have no reason to come back for the second season because I don't care anymore.
Mhm. I get it. I was intrigued enough by seeing this that I was like, "Oh, there's an actual entity. I wonder if the entity can decide things or if it's just a like a shadow that always has the same reaction." So I'm intrigued. I thought it was interesting seeing that, but it's not enough to bring me back.
No, and I agree with that. Um, like I wouldn't be upset if I watched more. I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch more. If my daughter says, "Hey, watch more episodes with me," I'm not gonna groan. I'm just gonna be like, "Yeah, that'll be fine."
Mhm.
Um, they go on
It's
a quest
more
to
fun
paint.
if you watch something bad with somebody who likes it. It's more
Maybe
entertaining.
I did watch the
Yeah.
first half alone, but all right, they go. There's a final story quest, but they got to go do the art mural in Art Town. Um, and when they get there, they see the symbol of the Watchmen series, and it revealed that Rudo's ancestor was the best friend of the first magic user, the first painter was, and they're like that. They say a name, and it's Rudo's last name, and that's it.
Sherbrooke or something like that. Sherbrooke.
Yeah, I have it written Sura back here. You're right. And then that's the end of the show, and this is where we'd go to final reviews. Jason, your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't have a good time.
Nice recovery.
Good, nice
Um,
job.
thank you. Uh, every time the show was about to hook me and I could feel myself starting to go, "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more." It would go into some sort of the characters that don't matter to the story, or it would go into these weird, like, abstract drawing of faces to show some sort of emotion, or they go on some sort of weird side quest where they've got to draw a mural that doesn't matter until it does. Um, I just I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about the story, and I was just disappointed because the world they were building seemed very interesting. It's very unique. There's a ton here that they could have gone with, and instead, this is a demographic issue. This is targeted towards people much younger than me, and I felt like I was watching a kids show, and I'm past that in my life. So I don't mean to crap all over it, but it just wasn't for me. uh, I think I was just more frustrated because I liked a lot of the ideas. It, it's similar to the first season. It's a 2 for me.
Hey, Jeremy.
Uh, I love the art. I think the world is really interesting. I'd like to know more about it. I will probably read some stuff on the wiki to find out what's going on here. Um, but I need a much tighter, more trusting script um, that is going to be a little bit more subtle and have less repetition. I think that's probably my biggest complaint. And maybe pick a lane. If your demographic is PG-13, maybe just you know turn into that curve. Make it so that it's not so rough and adult, so that it's really clear what you're making. Um, but yeah, I got to give it a 2.
I'm still at a 3. Like I said, my score hadn't really changed. I appreciate it a little bit more. I kind of get what people are seeing in it. It did the thing I asked it to do. It came up with its own unique spin. It's a different one. I'm not even sure if I like it or not. But like I said, I asked for a unique spin. I found one. Good for them. Beautiful. It's just for me, it's still more of the same. I will put it. I would say I would put this right up there with Fire Force. They feel very much neck and neck for me. Fire Force is also a shonen anime that goes through the motions well, but the same motions I've seen before. And so while I don't mind watching Fire Force, I am also not actively watching Fire Force. So I kind of put them as a tie right now.
Isn't it a little tighter though?
There's a lot less
Script-wise,
characters too.
conversations.
There's like 12 people on the team now, and we meet 7 other companies. No, it's not a
Yeah, but
smaller
not in the
cast.
first season.
Now, I'm talking about the first season.
By the end of the 24 episodes, there's a pretty big cast.
Not
I'd
as
say
big
it's
as this
very,
one.
it's very similar.
Nope.
Like eerily similar.
Nope.
I remember it being a little tighter, script-wise.
Um,
It's been a while.
yeah, I think they focus a little more on the fights and a little less explaining. So I'd agree with that. But as far as like long story
Oh,
plots and threads and mysteries that are being revealed, very much almost beat for beat feels the same to me.
Hmm.
All right. Our next anime is I forgot the name.
Link Click.
Link Click. I know it was an L. Link Click is our next anime. We'll be discussing that in our next regular episode. We have a
Rules
mini-sode episode coming up. It's not that, man. The mini-sode, we're gonna do a 2025 best of mini-sode, our favorite anime, and a few other things we thought were our favorites from 2025. We're doing that. It's gonna be February before you guys see it. Oh yeah, on the ball, baka baka baka. All right. If you have thoughts on Gachiakuta, we definitely want to hear them because this is again a well-reviewed anime. So if this is something you really like, feel free to tell us why we're wrong. That's what we're here for. It's not just about our opinions. If you also don't like it and agree with one of us or none of us, feel free to tell us that too. We'd love to hear your feedback. You can send us a message on our website, theanimebakaclub.com.
Or wherever you found this podcast.
You know it's a flow, and I'm going off muscle memory at this point. I don't actually know any of these websites. You can leave us a message on Twitter at Baka Podcast or wherever you found the podcast. You could probably comment or leave reviews with extra stars, more than we give Gachiakuta, hopefully. And we need to go.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, you broke my ribs and then you hit me in them. What a sadist.
Sayonara.